Welcome to Keeper of Secrets Tarot. I am Gypsy Girl, here to bring you another reading for Sagittarius. I thank you, Spirit, for protecting and keeping the collective safe, for protecting me and keeping me safe. Sagittarius, we have the Star, we have the Magician, Judgment, Knight of Wands, Four of Cups, Eight of Wands. Okay, so the Fool, even broken heart, disappointment, getting over disappointment, recovering in the sense where you know what happened, you know your part, and you're willing to walk away from the drama of it. That second chance to reconcile, you're probably thinking, I don't know if I really want to, because you look into your future. You prefer to have your freedom. You were bored with a certain relationship. It was just not going where you wanted it to go. Not enough information. Again, the truth of it is that you were bored. Five of Wands is having a debate or not having a debate, or just feeling like, I don't want this, I want to move on, I want to go on my own. I know that I can. You see, you have everything that you need. The Fool has everything that he needs. Very simple, very clear. I want to do what I want to do, Sagittarius. I thank you for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares. Most of all, for showing up. Deck splits with Three of Cups and the Magician. So that gossip, or not wanting to get into gossip. Again, the boredom, the Four of Cups here with the Three, just feeling lethargic. And then we have the King of Wands, so being in control and taking that step forward, wanting to develop and go on your own from the Knight of Wands into the King of Wands. Being very self-centered here, just taking care of you more than anything. Staying away from drama and gossip. I'm using the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot, and this is by Giulia F. Massaglia. The Celtic Cross is the spread that I'm using, and for that there is the energy field around Sagittarius that you don't know about, what's following you, what's around you. It's usually other people. Deck splits with the Hangman, so being held back and really paying attention to what needs to be done, where you need to go, paying attention to you and your needs, focusing on the self and giving to yourself what you need, not so necessarily what you want, but what you need. I'm using the Energy Oracle deck by Sandra and Taylor for that positioning of the card that tells of the energy that's around you that you are not privy to. Again, we have the Hangman with the Eight of Pentacles, and that's telling us that you're going over all the details. Again, you're going over what you've been through with certain relationship or relationships, and you're deciding to just take care of you, stand in your truth. For the overall energy of the read, I'm using the Mystical Shaman, and that is by Alberto Villoldo and Colette Baron-Reid with Marcela, Lobos. So I'll just do one cut, and we'll take a look for October 2025. Sagittarius, happiness has come to an end, or you've put an end to a cycle of of happiness. You either coming into what you feel happy about, feeling that you're finding your happiness, or you've put an end to it. Remember, we saw the Three of Swords, so now we have the Nine of Swords, and that tells us that we're going back. So someone isn't happy. Someone isn't happy about what took place. Again, the betrayal, that Three of Swords, disappointment. Maybe who you were dealing with was not reaching to the level where you were at, or wanting to take the relationship where you wanted it to. But it is a question of overcoming, because this is the test, to overcome and go past, to see the truth in what was supposed to be happiness that turned out not to be happiness. Again, we see the burden here. We have the ten of Wands. So maybe the relationship in itself was a burden. Having to be in the relationship, dealing with the individual or individuals, depending on if it's family, because this is relating to family as well as romantic relationship. Or personal happiness in itself, because we have the Ten of Wands with the Ten of Cups. So feeling that things are totally ended, or having that sense of, I don't want to go on, I don't want to continue, I really don't want this. Crushing the sentiment, crushing the relationship, spirit coming in and ripping apart what was, because we're not able to let go, or we're just feeling that there's too much of something, there's too much of negativity, too much of anxiety, too much of a burden, having to do all the work within a relationship, feeling that you can't trust people, you're not feeling like you can, you're going backwards. We go from 10 to 9 and then we go from 10 to 9. So really backtracking what was in whatever relationship that you're feeling there was a burden, that it was not what you wanted, that you allow things to fall apart, or you were instigating for things to fall apart so that you could have your freedom. Wanting to go off on your own, having that faith, or following your faith. Then we see we have the Hierophant here, so where you are is in a higher place of knowledge, or taking on a judgment, or making a decision as to, I don't want to be in this relationship, I want to put an end to it. It's too much of a burden for me. You don't trust something about whatever relationship you were in. You've had experience there, so this is where you feel like it's too heavy, it's too much for you. There's too much work involved. The anxiety is enormous. Feeling that if you kept going with this relationship, it would become more and more of a burden. Here we have the Hierophant. So either you're teaching a lesson, or you're learning a lesson, or you're calling a judgment. You're deciding which way to go. Somebody is really heartbroken or wanting to reconcile. Again, this is the energy around you. You are in a position of having deep understanding, higher knowledge, making that decision, making that judgment call, deciding on the relationship going forward or not. They are in a state of disappointment, or they are overcoming it, wanting to reconcile. Or disappointed that they can't be in a relationship with you because there is a burden. Things are not working out to be in a relationship. Starting over, having a fresh start, wanting to come back in. Changing of the plans, hoping that there will be changing of plans, hoping that there will be a possibility to communicate. The fear is in that there won't be a possibility. Again, it is the trust factor. There doesn't seem to be any. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles. So coming back to a completion, coming back to wanting to have that relationship and holding back because there is enough information to say, no, I'm not ready, or we need to change the perspective on what we want. And then there's Jupiter, the Wheel of Fortune, wanting to take a chance or waiting for the divine timing. Here we see the Knight of Pentacles. So somebody really wants to keep going with a plan. And the plan is to have a relationship. Coming to the Ten of Pentacles, he really does want to set up a legacy. It could be for work, could be for relationship. Take it as it resonates, but the divine timing is here. And it is Jupiter turning into or crossing over into Cancer. So perspectives will change. And that will come into November. Here we see the Knight of Swords. So really wanting to speak and move things along. But again, waiting for the right moment and taking the time, really holding on to the idea of this is what I want, and I'm not letting anybody stop me getting what I want. Being able to express that. And the Queen of Cups here is following that intuition and going with the instinct. Oh boy. Now we have two queens. So again, the relationship could be riddled with third parties. Could be there's two women involved having that conversation about third parties and going on your own in some cases with the Queen of Pentacles. So news coming in. News coming in from our Knight of Swords. Somebody wanting to tell news or really talk about third parties, that secrecy about online communication with third parties. Again, the disappointment, not being able to trust and having that new beginning. Seeing that they may have wanted to give up with the third party because they choose to come to you. I mean, that could be for some of you. But again, it is online communication, really wanting to start up a conversation with you or with someone else, and then talking about going on your own or really breaking it up. Because here we see the end of a cycle. We're going to stop there because it's all the drama that you don't want, that you're getting away from or you're pulling yourself away from, because Hangman says you're not getting involved in any drama. You're really taking a step back and you're waiting for the right moment. Let's see what the energy is for the Three of Swords. What does that represent for Sagittarius? Thank you, Spirit. What is the energy of the Three of Swords representing for Sagittarius? Oh my goodness, it's upside down. I didn't turn the cards upside down. A journey. So we're going to read it in the reverse because it is in the reverse. And I didn't turn any of these cards upside down. So Spirit has a way of making sure the message comes the way it's supposed to. A journey, movement, relocation, travel, wanting to find a home, wanting to move on. Person that you're thinking about, the person that is dealing with the heartbreak, this is where they are. So it is in the reverse, so we'll read it right off. You may desire to move or just get away for a while, but the reverse of this card could indicate a delay or even a cancellation. Something could be standing in your way, or perhaps lines of communication may get crossed. Don't let the potential changes upset you. Refocus your energy and be flexible enough to alter your schedule or destination and as needed. Remember, you can always create new adventures even in your present location or situation. All right, so again, the delay. delay, not wanting to move on, wanting to stay, wanting to reconcile, wanting to have a communication with you and really come back to being with you. Could be family members too. I'll give you the affirmation if you want to sit with this. I am attracting wonderful new adventures to me. My life is a blessing, taking me to new places, inside and out. And you might want to go back to the beginning of the clip where I was talking about that boredom, not wanting to be, wanting to set off on a new journey. On that note, Sagittarius, I thank you for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares. Until our next read, love and light. Sagittarius, I completely skipped my little deck on the mystical shaman for the overall energy. So I've come back to finish that, and I think it's because that journey card was upside down. I'm in a little shock because I really didn't turn cards upside down. So let's see what the energy, overall energy for you, Sagittarius, because we know that the energy around you is in a delay. Jupiter is holding them at bay. We have two cards that come up. We have the lower world. We have the soul revival. Okay, so let's just read them both then. The lower world is 31. And the lower world holds the hidden treasures of humanity. It is a place of rich and fruitful darkness. Yeah, we can see it's dark in there. Where we can find the download parts of ourselves, or the disowned parts of ourselves, and the abandoned aspects of our psyches. I'll read that again. So the lower world holds the hidden treasures of humanity. It is a place of rich and fruitful darkness, where we can find the disowned parts of ourselves and the abandoned aspects of our psyches. The lower world is the place of our awareness, or ancestors, where we discover the gifts and lessons from the past. Again, you were looking back. Again, this 9, the 10 going to the 9 on both accounts, with the work and the trust and the family, wanting to be in relationship, really going over that aspect of your life. Here we can meet our demons and transform them into pure energy, our source of personal power. See, the lower world is a place of our ancestors, where we discover the gifts and lessons from the past. It is the realm of the collective unconscious. Here we can meet our demons and transform them into pure energy, our source of personal power. So really going back into you and dealing with you, that's where the relationship is probably, you're taking that stand on, I don't want to be in a relationship. For those of you who are pulling away from relationships, because we have 3 10s showing up here, and we saw the world card right here. Communication with our third party, that conversation about, I don't want to be with anybody, I want to be on my own, I want to take care of myself, reaping the rewards of having a single life, wanting to be that Knight of Wands. It is time to unearth our hidden treasures. Do not make yourself small in order for others to like or accept you. Bring out the gems and precious stones that you have kept inside your heart, hidden even from yourself. It's time to honor your past and recast your life as a heroic quest. As you journey into the lower world, you will be offered all the gifts of your ancestors. Their struggles, the way they hurt, the way they lived, and the way they died will become blessings. Really going into that introspection here with the Hangman. That's where you're at, and you're really going deep. You want to understand where the relationships that are so burdensome come from, why you have to follow the pain and suffering and having to feel not trusted or not trusting in certain relationships. You're getting to know the whys and the ability to rise above that, because the anxiety that seems to be coming forward here is the overcoming of it. It's putting it in the past where it belongs, being able to rise up, make new decisions and move on and take on the future. We have soul retrieval, so going into the darkness and retrieving the soul. Let's see 49. It's quite deep, this one. And this is all about getting away from a relationship or just looking into relationships that didn't work out. Maybe that's where some of you are. Soul retrieval is a practice that helps you recover a part of yourself, your energy, your enthusiasm, or your innocence that you have lost. At first, we'll use soul revival to recover from our hurts and heal our childhood wounds. Later, we learn to journey to recover our original nature, that self that never left the Garden of Eden, who still speaks to the rivers, to the trees, and to God. When we return to Eden, we are whole again. So again, the journey you're sharing with another person where they are being held back because they too are trying to face or are in the process of facing their demons. Again, it is whatever that broke the trust between you, whomever you're dealing with. That is what has created a burden. That is what has put you off of the relationship, and they know that. You are no longer fragmented. You are one with creation. You have healed the cause of the pain you feel. So you do not need to dwell on it any longer. Really, it's true. If you are still hovering over an old wound, find a new flight path. Don't be distracted with the little stuff you've already mastered. Go for the big one, the journey back to Eden. So this is where you go on a new adventure. You pick up where you left off. Again, it is a question of pulling yourself away or coming into a relationship. You know exactly where you want to be. You are in control. You have a deeper understanding, and Spirit is walking with you in this. Jupiter is here. Again, divine timing is yours. Plans that you may have had on the back burner, you can bring forward again, and you will, because there is an eagerness. There is an eagerness, whether it is someone else wanting to come to you, they're going to reach you. They're going to have a communication, talk about the secrecy, follow through with a journey, cross water, take a flight even, regain that independence or deal with the third party situation, talk about what was going on there. I mean, everybody has a different scenario going on with these cards. And then we have that new beginning, a fresh start, wanting to get into a self-motivated project, or you want to join with others, you want to talk about how you feel and where you want to go. If it is that you want to make your own way, you want to go on your own, well, that is a conversation that you will have. And then of course the just desserts will come, payment for all of the deeds, for carrying the burden, for not trusting, for feeling that you have to put up a wall, breaking up in relationships, breaking down relationships, purposely going after an ending because of what you know. You've had experience. If it is third parties were coming around, you suss them out right away. You pulled the plug. You said, no, I don't want this. They got the message. They are in a sense of holding back. They too are reflecting. They are reflecting on what it is they really want with you, and if it is that they want to come back to you. Either way, you have abundance coming in. You have that reconciliation if you want it, or you have your legacy to take care of if you don't want to be in a relationship. So I'll say goodbye again, Sagittarius, until our next read. Love and light.